Hello everybody, this is Jack. Welcome back to my Terrablox Devblog video. In this one I'll be showing you lots of new graphical stuff that I've been working on and a few little tech bits as well. So hope you enjoy. So one of the new things we've added is the game mode selection screen. So creative mode, adventure mode, that's basically what... Well, I don't know if it'll be a replacement of survival, but that's a better term for survival. Well, for the mode I had in mind. And multiplayer, which these don't do anything yet. Just creative mode, so we'll go straight into this and I'll explain things as they pop up. I actually think we're still set to spawn in the ocean, but never mind. So, let's explain the ocean first. Okay, I don't know what to explain first because this is quite a hard thing to do. So obviously you can see the world is actually not flat anymore. It has a curvature to it, and it's not actually a sphere. It's still a flat land, like it's still a flat square. This is a half-kilometer squared map, but I add this effect onto it through the shader, so it's just vertex displacement. It just pushes them down the further away the vertexes are, so it creates this sort of nice circular curvature effect. And I spent a while tweaking it just to get it, you know, because the world wraps as well now. You can keep walking in exactly the same direction and you'll keep going back to where you started. And I was tweaking with the amount of curvature just so that if you had a bigger map, the curvature would be less, so it feels like you're actually on a bigger world and takes longer to go around it. So that's curvature. It's not as impressive in the background as it actually looks. It's actually very simple to do. But yeah, it looks cool. And as you can see, I added lots of flowers. And this is an updated version of the texture pack I used before, which is made by the 2D Groove, I think he's called on YouTube. And yeah, his name as I know him is Terrabloxian. I had to change this one though so that it would have the extra flowers, and the trees, they're not transparent. The way he had it was the leaves were like transparent and they had an alpha channel, which doesn't work really, because it cuts off things. So it sometimes cuts off things that are behind it and sometimes doesn't. It depends on the drawing order, which you can't really change dynamically. So I changed it back to these ones. Now I'm trying to find the ocean again so I can explain that. Yeah, what with it being a sphere, well not a sphere but curvature, it's really difficult to tell where everything is. Best bet is to go down. Yeah, here we go. So that's not an ocean, that's a puddle. Okay, here we go. So I'll get some vantage point here. So the ocean actually at the moment is a separate mesh, but it is chopped into blocks like everything else. I can show you that by getting into it, and you'll see that it doesn't cut through anything. So it is still like voxels, and I put them in a separate mesh just to make this the wave effect easier. As you see, it does actually move the vertexes, and the shading isn't actual lighting. It's just, you know, the higher up a vertex is, it makes it lighter, so it just gives it the wavy effect. And it also does the curvature thing, so it takes into account curvature first. No, what way round is it? It does its height displacement first, and then it adds on the curvature. So you get this rolling ocean around the planet, which is really pretty cool. And I need to... Well, some things I want to do with this is I want to actually make it transparent, even though I just said that can't happen. Because this is a separate mesh, I can actually draw it after the world has been drawn. So it should draw things in the right order. And also that would mean that you could look into deeper water and it would get darker the further it goes down. So that would be pretty cool. And if it was transparent, that would also mean you could see what's underneath the water and possibly use some sort of post-processing shader to add a wobble to it or something. So that's curvature and water. And one thing that is actually like a lot more noticeable now is just the sheer amount of sky. So I think at some point, maybe next week, I'm going to try adding clouds and stuff in, you know, that actually move and sort of wrap around the planet. So yeah, that would be cool. And even though this is a planet, you don't actually have to play as a planet. I'm going to make it so it's optional. So when you pick a mode, it will have like little buttons below it that say what sort of map you want. So you can say like size, you want a small map, tiny map, huge map, whatever, and you'll be able to define whether it wraps around. So that means if you walked off one edge, you come back on the other, so it's seamless. And if you want it as a planet, so obviously if it's a planet, it would have to be seamless. But yeah, we'll just give you different options, because there are some bugs with this at the moment. Like when you go into first person view, you see that's hitting blocks that aren't visibly there, and that's because it's still treating the world as if it was flat, so it doesn't take the curvature into account when it's doing this. So that's another thing I've got to fix. I just keep making bugs for myself. So oh yeah, I don't think it was really displayed here because I forgot about it, but it now loads things like that you're actually looking at first. So if I'm looking over there, it would only display this area. It would only like load it up or create a mesh, whatever. So if there's not a mesh there, it would create one and then draw it. And this means that you're not using all the memory from the start. It's not building a whole map that you can't see. So this is the first step of like the memory management I was talking about last time, where it will actually delete things. Like it will delete the data that you're not looking at, or the mesh that you're not looking at. So it should keep the memory relatively, I mean, a lot lower than it was before, where it was like hitting a gig. I mean, it still hits a gig after you've been walking around a while, because you're sort of filling in the map. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm going to try it with some bigger like heights, because it just like displaces the Z location. It doesn't actually sort of turn the model away. So I think with something big it might look weird. So I need to see that to know. But I might just make it so that you know, if you have a small map, it can only go so high, so you don't get these weird effects. And I want the character to bob on the water as well. That would be pretty cool. But there's lots to do. But I think graphically we're at a good point now, I think, to actually start looking into just optimization and saving and loading and actually getting a demo up of it. And yeah, that's all I can think of for now with this. I'm going to show you some different character skins we mocked up. So yeah, here we go. So here we have a female character, and the important difference here is the hair on the side. So I just added these today to pretty much finish off the character. Oh yeah, you'll also notice all the arms are smaller on the characters, and that's because apparently they're proper now according to my artist. And yeah, so the arms are actually were supposed to be smaller, or the model is supposed to be bigger, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, so you can get different shapes on it. So you can also do the same with the hair if you want. You could have like little I don't know, you can cut it off at the bottom or something and have it shorter and stuff like that. So yeah, that's female character. Here's another male character. I don't know what on earth he's supposed to be. He seems very happy with himself. I think he's been on the sugar. But yeah, as you can see, he's got a different hairstyle at the front. So that is actually a whole panel you can draw onto. So it might actually be able to go bigger than that. And unlike the girl character, I mean, he still has the meshes on the sides that are there to draw female hair onto, but it's just left blank on the actual skin to do that. So yeah, you can have the same hair on males if you want to. I should call this one Terror Dude. Now I think this is a female as well, but she just looks absolutely demonic. Those teeth. But yeah, see, we're using the hair panels on the side again, so that's a dead giveaway. And stripes and stuff, and this is still like a really small skin, so you can actually go much higher resolution and get a lot more detail in it if you want to. So you could have like real eyes or something. You could actually put your own face on the character if you want to. So yeah. To conquer fear, you must become fear. Batman. So yeah, you can use the hair panels for, doesn't have to be hair, you can use it for a mask. So we were going to get more sort of like superheroes and things you'd recognise, just to display that, you know, you can make, even though the style is lacking legs, you can do stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. And by the way, just looking back on my videos as I'm recording them and trying to cut them up, there's sort of like a buzzing in the background, and just to point that out, that is actually my graphics card, because this game is running at like 1000 frames a second. That just does weird stuff to it. So that's what that is. I think in the future I'll just limit that to less. Yeah, I'll cap the frame rate or something just to make that less, because I can't hear it with my headphones on. So yeah, Batman. And the new mob of the week is called the Cubelet. As you can see, it's a fish thing. Puffer fish, I imagine. And yeah, obviously you won't find it in land, you'll find it in water. So this is specifically like a forest lake. And yeah, it will attack you, and it has a special attack called the drug bubble, which apparently gives you the reality warping effect. So basically what I think's happened here is that Daddio, the artist, has seen my shaders and started having ideas. So I'm going to go have to give him some medication, because that's a dangerous thing. Yeah, animation would be quite cool to do on this. It'd be like really super fast flapping. I don't know. I mean, maybe you'd be able to catch them as food or something as well, like without actually going in the water. I don't know, but that's the Cubelet. So thanks for watching this week's Terrablox Devblog video. Next week I'm not sure what I'll be doing, but I kind of want to concentrate on just getting the game to run better with, you know, using less memory, and get all the blocks in, as well as like a camera switcher, so you can switch between like a free flying camera and your character, so you can sort of, in creative mode, sort of create your world however you want and then walk around it. So that would be cool to have in the same mode. And importing skins, because I thought I'd already done that, but apparently I didn't, so I need to get skins in and loading properly. And lots of user interface stuff on the main menu, so that you can change all your settings and stuff like that for maps, and, you know, different loading in different mods and stuff like that. So yeah, thanks for watching this video, and goodbye.